The market on the left looks at Fauci as God, as he can't do anything wrong, and they're so afraid to criticize him. The only person that did, they kicked him out of his party, and his family even pretty much disowned him. His name is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Did you read the Fauci book he wrote on, did you read the case against Anthony Fauci?
Yeah, if you read it, the first words in that book are a quote from me. The first words that the pharmaceutical industry has taken over the knowledge that doctors have. In the introduction.
What did you think about the book on things he said about Fauci?
I think that RFK is a very smart guy. He works really hard, and he gets a lot of things right. But in my opinion, he doesn't have a firm grasp of his own desire to prove his points, his confirmation bias. Such as when he was on Joe Rogan's show in June, he cited an article that said that he claimed said that vaccinations have never saved any lives. And I looked that up because that didn't sound right, and it's not right. He cited the article wrong. But RFK Jr. works so fast that it's very hard to keep up with him in real time. So nobody can debate him. And I don't blame people for not debating him because he's bringing in new data. If he would stick to the data, to what he said on the Rogan show, then I think I'd debate him. If he was locked into that position.
What does that even mean, though? I don't understand what you just said right there, because so you're now probably bringing up that Dr. Paul Hotez was not willing to talk to RFK because that was going on, and I remember that.
Yeah.
What do you mean if he sticks to what he said to Joe Rogan?
No. You put the two things together. It's impossible to debate RFK Jr.
Why is that?
In real time because he's a voluminous reader, and he's interpreting things. Sometimes when he interprets articles, there's bias, that he interprets the article to confirm what his predisposition.
But you guys do that more than he does.
Who am I, you guys?
Do you mean the opposite side, right? Everybody does. So
no, time out. I spent a lot of time in litigation.
Okay.
You cannot do that in litigation. You'll get torn apart by the drug company lawyers.
By the drug company lawyers. Has Anthony Fauci ever said anything incorrect when it comes on to citing studies and research and gain of function and any of that stuff?
Yeah,
has he ever said anything incorrect?
Yeah.
Has any big pharma company sued Anthony Fauci?
I don't think so. But
why not, though?
Because his bias is selling COVID vaccines.
That's exactly the point. So that's the part where that's exactly the point I'm trying to make. How is it that the guy he's been a director of NIH for how many years? 36 years, 38 years? I don't know what the numbers are. Long ass time, right? Yeah. He's been there for a long time. So why is he so protected? Why is he so protected? Why is he so protected that the guy is pretty much, they should make Untouchables 2 and have him be in a cast with a handful of other people because he's untouchable.
I don't blame you for having that opinion. I have some of that opinion. But I think what Fauci has been doing has been good for the pharmaceutical industry.
I agree.
And I think I want to take this up a level because you guys are talking about the prospectuses and how the financial companies, the banks and so forth, their job is to maximize their profits, and they make these prospectuses, and if they don't tell the truth, they're in deep trouble.
By law.
By law,
yeah.
Correct. The pharmaceutical industry is different than that because their job is to maximize their profits just like the money guys. And they're doing it damn well.
They buy guys like him out, and they can't buy an RFK out. And that's why, can you imagine an RFK as an independent guy who the mainstream media didn't want to have him on? He got all the traction that he got from doing podcasts.
Right.
And this guy's father got assassinated, and his uncle got assassinated, and his father would have been a president, and his uncle was a president. And they were probably the most beloved anti-establishment Democratic president family of all time. They fought against the establishment.
Right.
Today's Democrats don't fight the establishment. They defend the establishment. It's a very weird dynamic. So I feel like His family changed and they became establishment. And to me, RFK is like, listen, guys, I'm following my dad's legacy. I'm following my uncle's legacy. So to me, when he went around talking and nobody wanted to debate him, it's exactly why. He said, because he's so well read that his opponents fear him. They know he will school them.
That's not fair, Patrick.
You don't think so?
That's not fair.
Okay, push back. I'm open to it.
I agree with about 70% of what RFK has to say. He's a smart guy. He's articulate. He's committed. And that 70% I respect tremendously. B, he controls any debate because he's read more articles far and wide, but he's not censoring himself enough. If he would have fact checkers to check the positions he's taking before he goes public with it, then there'd be something.
Perfect. So how about we do this? You just made a basis for it, right? So are you friends with Paul Hotez? Are you in communication?
No.
Okay.
No.
So would you debate an RFK in a long-form podcast, let's just say with Joe, you go on Joe because both of you guys have been there as well, and there's 2 or 3 fact checkers sitting there the entire time fact-checking you and fact-checking RFK. Would you be open to that?
No, because you can't go fast enough. This is what I was saying before, but I took it out of context and you didn't understand it. He went on Joe Rogan's show, I think last June, and he made a number of cases.
Okay.
I haven't thoroughly analyzed the whole tape, but I saw one instance where he was definitely wrong. What I'm saying is that's his position as of June 2023.
Right.
If he wanted to debate based on those positions, don't bring in 100 new articles that you've interpreted that nobody can possibly check in real time because it takes hours. But if he stayed, like in a deposition, when I was doing litigation, the lawyers would say, you can only talk about what's in the 4 corners of this report. If what he said on Rogan, if the claims he made on Rogan was a report and he had to stay within the 4 corners of that report, then I'd debate him.
It just would tell me the other guys, your opponent is more prepared and well-read than you.
No, he's reading far and wide, but he's the one who's the arbiter of what it says. You can't read everything. Patrick,
you're right. I agree.
Yeah.
No, I don't dispute
you can't.
that.
So he's out in the lead. He's very fast and he's very smart. But he's looking for things that confirm his biases, and he's making some mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying he's making mistakes. So you say 70-30 RFK. Where do you put Fauci at? If you can put him like that 70-30, where do you put Fauci when he talks?
I don't want to put a number on it, but
Is it higher, or do you trust Fauci more than RFK?
No. I've seen this fall apart. No,
okay, then
I think Fauci is exposed to real risk here.
How? He's protected. RFK is not protected.
I don't.
How is RFK protected? Who protects RFK? Honestly,
nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody. But nobody.
Who protects Fauci?
Right. There's an entire institution that protects Fauci.
Doc, he's protected by mainstream media, celebrities, big pharma.
Yes.
Do you see who the bully here is?
We're on the same page.
Yeah, so to me,
it's all going to break. Whatever your issue is, whether it's Republican, Democrat, in government, out of government.
I'm establishment, anti-establishment. I'm not at all Republican, Democrat. Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell are best friends. That's not a Democratic Republican thing.
That's exactly.
They're best friends. They're just giving stories to how close those two are.
That's right.
This is
That's
not.
right.
This is
no,
not.
It's about pharma making money. We've got to get our eyes on that.
But I get that. But I think the part where people look away is, on the. For example, okay, everybody. None of us had a clue who this guy was, except for people that were in the space. If you're in the space, okay, or people that were maybe older, above 60, and you remember in the 80s with AIDS.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I remember this guy's name was Ron and AIDS, where, that drug, and, they were selling the NZT, and then, and by the way, later on there was a movie called AZT, which
and the protease inhibitors.
NZT is from the movie Limitless, but they got the name NZT from AZT, that Fauci. Anyways, so you're like, oh, okay, I don't know that. Okay, maybe he's a noble guy. And then all of a sudden people are coming out that work with him, and here's what he went, Okay, I mean, everybody talks shit about everybody. Fine, I don't need to buy. No, but there's some, yeah, you guys just don't like the guy. You're just hating on the guy. It's like, oh, no, this guy could be a dark guy that's a bot that's defending everybody. Motive, now we got to find out what this guy's really all about. Then everybody flipped because the hypocrisy kept showing up with who this guy really was all about.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.